All right, let's do it live on a Friday edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. I am merely Bo. He is the great Z. The sun is out. It feels like you're going to go. There's a small ball to be chased this afternoon. It is a 70-degree sun-kissed day. Myles is here. We're contracts. We had a sit down. We'll play that for you coming up at 2 o'clock. What a time to be alive.
I got to tell you something. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid right off here in the opening segment. It's finally Friday.
It's finally Friday. We're ready.
We're ready.
Let's go.
We're ready. And, I hope to chase a small ball. Not going to use any of the – every year I get a new at our club we're able to get, you buy, they do the buy 3, get 1 dozen free or whatever of the titles, and you can customize them. And so, like, the year the Hoff went in, I had all of them were 73s, and it said, like, the Hoff on it, and I gave the Hoff one of those. So this year, I think it's special. Obviously, it's 2025. So this year, I'm playing my Titleist Pro V1X. I'm a little upset, though. I couldn't customize the left dash Pro V1X, which had become my ball of choice.
Okay.
And I was this ball had to be a particular one. They wouldn't let me get to the number to make my own number up. So I ended up going the Pro V1X, which is a fine golf ball. Very nice golf ball. And I got number 25 for the year 2025.
Sure.
And then on the side it says Little Zogs.
Little Zogs, baby.
How about it?
Let's go.
Miss K was moved. She thought it was a very beautiful gesture.
When my oldest was born, I can't remember if it was, I want to say it was my mom got me a box of Pro V1s that said Paid's dad on them. But unfortunately, my game is not as clean as yours is, and so I was always fearful that if I played with them, they would last, the entire box might last a round.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I can't have these all in the rough for forever.
Yeah.
So I've played some of them, and I still have some of them.
So I pulled one sleeve out
long.
that's going to be that'll be in his room for.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but then the rest will play, and I'll keep one sleeve or at least one ball that'll be.
How many golf balls do you lose over the course of a summer?
I usually can play the whole summer with the 4 dozen that I get.
Yeah,
and it's not always losing, but at some point, like you hit them enough, scuff them up, and then you're like,
how many golf balls do you lose in a summer? Like hit it and you can't find it. Less than 10?
Yeah,
like 6, 7. Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah, I'm going to lose 10 tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's how
I always have it is a victory for me if I can play one round same ball. I've won.
Like if I get to the 9th hole and I'm still playing 1, I'm like, wow, this is kind of a big deal today.
Now, some of that is my own malaise in the fact that, like, if I hit it too far into the junk, I'm not going in. There are more balls. I don't need to be. I'm too old to be chasing into junk looking for stuff. I'm a big pace of play guy too. Keep it moving. Don't do it to me.
Yeah.
Hey. What a presser. We'll play it for you, your conversation with Myles, but this was officially official over the weekend, and then Myles here in town today did the media rounds, and again, we'll play that for you a little bit later. Z had an exclusive one-on-one with Myles as well. You have that to look forward to, which is very, very nice. But for an off-season where you had the Joel Bitonio, Myles' situation became what it became, and now those things are wrapped up and ready to go, and you're pushing forward on towards the draft and obviously still some free agency.
Yes, and that is really all that you can hope for, right? Like that is literally that's what we're looking for. That's what we want. We are rowing in the same direction now, and that's at the end of the day, that's what it's about. This team figuring out a way to move forward, to get the quarterback of the present and future. And I think that is – just kind of judging from Myles at the podium, and then obviously, you'll get to hear my interview with him at 2. That's a big part of it, and it's kind of like the elephant in the room. It's they can do all of these things, and one of the you'll kind of hear my line, but I think one of the things that dawned on me is it must be hard to be as good as you are at your position in the National Football League and know that it is still somewhat out of your hands how far the team can go. And in fact, probably more so than anything else. Like you think about the great basketball players and the great competitors, and I'll just say, and obviously LeBron is one of the all-time greats, but I'm talking about Jordan, Kobe, for example, just that mentality. And that's something I talk about with Myles that you'll hear at 2 o'clock in our exclusive interview. But those guys could have a little bit more impact on the game.
Of course.
The truth is you need a quarterback. And just look at our division. You would say over the last, since they were drafted in the same draft since 2017. The consistently two best edge defenders in the National Football League, without question, are Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm pretty sure they've won a combined 2 playoff games. I think Watt's won one, Myles has won one.
Did Watt win one like year one?
Early.
I don't think Watt has won.
Is he not?
I don't know
Zero?
that he's won one.
No.
I don't
Okay, so
think
zero.
they've won a playoff game since 16. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right. I know that
Pittsburgh
they haven't won one since we've won one. I know that.
Yeah,
but
I want to say
maybe
it
it's
was
16. We look at this all the time, and it's dumbfounding when we get the
Yeah.
actual answer. So let's say Watt has 1-0.
Yeah,
Even if we gave him the benefit out of 1. Okay, big deal.
right.
Those guys are in many ways relying upon a quarterback. And I think that if you are to have a change of heart, money is certainly a part of it, but at the same time, I think he has got to believe that they were going to figure it out at quarterback. And that's why I go back to this draft, and this opportunity is the lifeline, because this is a team that is going to have many needs this year, next year, and it really doesn't open up until 2027. So you're going to need a productive quarterback on a rookie deal the next few years. Now, Kenny Pickett is on that rookie deal, and I think he's going to fit in great here. He's gotten rave reviews from everybody that I've talked to, offensive staff, all the way up to the top. And there's somebody, again, 15-10 in the NFL, 7-game winning drives that, who knows? But that's not like the only plan. So if you were to, let's say, kick the can on the quarterback decision at rookie position, right, to next year, that's going to cost you a lot, because I don't think anybody here is going to be thinking we're going to be in the top 3 next year. Now, nobody thought we were going to be last year. That was
right.
An absurd notion if somebody had said that. So when you look at it, it all of a sudden becomes a situation where if you're good with both, great. If you're not, and this is the Cam Ward draft, then you got to go get him. And you're going to have to pay a price, but understand that price is going to be significantly less than any price that you would pay most likely in a subsequent draft, because this team cannot be 3-14 again.
Whatever the price is, it's fine. It's fine. If he's Jaden Daniels, it's fine. Like if he's in that league, if he's if he's the answer at quarterback, there is no price. It is you remember the Ditka draft when he did it for Ricky Williams?
Yes.
Everybody in the league would do that for Andrew Luck. No one second guesses it for Andrew Luck. You'd give up your entire draft for a sure thing franchise quarterback. You can fill the rest of it in. Without it, you're blowing in the wind, brother.
Yeah.
That's it. We're talking about Watt. Look at Pittsburgh right now. They have everything else that you would want to go be a contender.
Yep.
They've got weapons. They're really good defensively. They've got stars. They've got future Hall of Famers. They have all those things. They are being held hostage as an organization by the decision of Aaron Rodgers and where to go from there. And if he decides to go in another direction, then they've got to pivot in a hurry, but they are nowhere nearer to winning a playoff game for the first time in forever for them, right?
Yep.
They're nowhere near.
Yep.
And so it is. And I think it's also why I have, and I didn't get to cover him, but I've obviously got to know him very well since been doing the program.
Yeah.
Such respect for Joe Thomas.
It
is a remarkable thing to show up for work the way that he did, as long as he did, to stay, to not, and to show up every day and be superb, despite team function that was not, over and over and over again.
And he was adamant that he felt Myles should do that as well.
Yeah.
Which is, in some ways interesting, because you did definitely put him in a pretzel with the notion of if he was,
what if? Yeah.
What if? But I do think that there is something, clearly there's something to that. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that it's unbelievable what the Hoff did. And then you could look at it in the case of Myles, what he's done over the last 4 years, right? He's the only player in the history of the league to have 14 or more sacks in 4 straight seasons. Only time it's ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
And of those 4, 20 was good.
Mm-hmm.
23 was good. So it even goes back to 20. So it was really 21, 22, 23, 24. So there was only one play. One more button. One more button.
Too many.
Too many buttons. One more.
He glassed up.
That looked like he just walked off of a a jet
Of course he probably did.
of his own.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did.
He very well could have.
That was an incredible look.
Yeah, really was.
Yeah,
That's put you in a mood on a Friday. That's what
Yeah.
he's going. He's going for a Friday mood. That was perfect. But yeah, that's the thing is, and that topic you and I stumbled on earlier in this week about the middle class is now in vogue in the NFL.
Yep.
And being at the bottom is not, and trying to just find a way to have successful seasons, albeit ones that have no chance at winning a Super Bowl or winning the ultimate prize. There's a great many teams in this league right now who are in the mix between a floor of 6 wins and a ceiling of 10.
Yep.
There's a glut of teams in that window.
Yep.
And quite honestly, some of those teams in that window that are trying to be in that window are going to have to be bad because someone's got to lose games in this league. And that's just the reality of it. So it is something that we've seen that it's really strange how this all shook out this week, and it's still shaking out. We still don't know Rodgers, Wilson, what could happen there. You used to have Pittsburgh, us, the Giants, Tennessee that are, I think Tennessee maybe they would go Levis. I know there's a lot of momentum this week about how they're going Cam. Maybe they
It's
stay.
weird though that what are they doing at court? They still need somebody else?
Yeah, I don't know.
They haven't been linked to anybody.
They haven't. They have not.
They've also done they've helped their line, but from a weapon standpoint, they do not have a supporting cast that's going to make a rookie feel comfortable.
No, they don't. Definitely not. So that's you have those situations, and then you have what's left out there from a free agent quarterback, and then even if you want to try to get in the trade market, if it's a Malik Willis, if it's a Joe Milton, those type of guys, like would Tennessee want to bring Joe Milton in if they don't take quarterback at 1? Do they bring Joe Milton in to continue to compete?
Or
Malik Willis, one of those guys in to they had him.
I know.
So
the answer on that was no. I don't
no,
think you can
can't
admit
do that.
No,
you can't say, well, we probably blew that.
Yeah.
And he looked really good.
No takebacks.
Yeah. No takebacks. No. He looked really good.
Looks great.
Pinch hitting for Green Bay. So, yeah, I think this weekend will be very interesting. I think the Rodgers decision will be very interesting as well, whenever that comes.
I wonder when it's going to come. How long do we have to wait for that?
I don't know.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think Russ ends up in New York. Now, I'm just surprised, though, that Tennessee hasn't inquired about him.
I'm surprised with the blood moon.
Yes.
Hi.
G-Man. Just sidled over.
I'm surprised.
Mike on, let's go. Blood moon, let's go.
I'm surprised that we didn't get an Aaron Rodgers decision with the blood moon.
By the way, I'll tell you. This
Pat,
is
done some thinking.
A true story about the blood moon.
Hey, Moose is
on the loose.
Look, he's in the loose. That's how it used to be.
That is how it used to be.
I haven't seen him in forever, Moosey.
Me neither. Miss K woke me up, set an alarm
for the blood moon,
and woke me up at 2:30 in the morning.
I love Moose, man.
And we went. I didn't know he was in the building today.
I didn't either.
I'm not talking about Moose either.
No. She woke you from a slumber for the blood moon.
Yeah, we went outside, stood on the.
Were you like?
By the way, if you were
was it like the eclipse?
If you're in the neighborhood, you're welcome for the show. I was out there on the porch as I was born into this world. Yeah, checking out the blood moon. What else? Like it's 2:30 in the morning.
2:30 in the morning. Okay, fine.
I say it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I can
honey.
see
It's gorgeous.
It was wonderful. Then I went back to bed.
I just bailed at 11 o'clock. I was like, okay, it's going to get red, but it's fine.
It actually was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not worth 2:30 in the morning.
And it really moved Miss K emotionally that the blood moon was the basically all but the very top was the red, was the part that was in the eclipse, and then the very top was the super bright. So it kind of looks like a diamond ring.
Oh, sure.
You get that like diamond ring halo
Yeah,
effect, which is what, for those of you who are ever going to conceive and you find out and you go in really early in the process at around 6 weeks, that's what your little child looks like.
Yeah.
Like a diamond ring. That's what
right.
you're looking for. That's what you're hoping for. So she was very moved by that.
Oh, God bless her.
My wife set 6 alarms for that.
Did you, Kev?
She had the camera set up at the window, like with the ring light that I have for doing things at home. She had all of that set. We both slept through it.
You missed the 6 alarms? Like you just blew through the alarms,
yes.
Kev?
Yes, just blew through the alarms.
Oh, my God.
So what I would say is what you need, So Miss K has got now. She's got the Apple Watch. You know, she's an Apple Watch. That Apple Watch. I mean, look at
he's got the.
what?
Oh yeah.
What even are those?
Yeah, you know that.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
he's got that.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got it.
That
I know
means
that,
Ralph Lauren. Is that what he's doing there? A little polo? Was that what he doing?
I think
was he doing something better than that?
I think I think it's a rare instance where I don't know what that was, but rare instance where it's a ends with an A
Yeah. Right.
situation
Yeah.
out of him. Still supreme.
Oh, I thought he was
I know.
knocking a polo ball around.
Maybe.
It sort of struck me as Pretty
Yeah.
Woman, you know, when Richard Gere's out there, you know.
Boy, that's a hell of a turn for to go from George Costanza to what he plays in Pretty Woman. You were not prepared. I was not prepared for that.
No.
I'd never seen him in anything other than being George Costanza.
Kind of a real credit if we're going to be honest about it.
What, rape? He tried doing a little rapey.
Very bad.
Yeah, very, very bad.
Very
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, no,
Well,
not
I
good.
wasn't going to delve that deep.
Well, that's just what
Cred
happened.
was
I mean,
a pretty good blanket.
I don't think that I've ruined the movie. It's 30-some years old at this
very
point.
small
I think
portion.
It's
It's a
that
small
haven't
portion
seen
of the
Pretty Woman at
movie,
this
yeah.
point. But yeah, that's a bit of an attention getter to go the lovable George Costanza into that. Where were we? Oh,
I
Blood
don't
Moon.
know.
Blood Moon.
Oh.
You're go back to sleep guy. So you were able to go right back, huh?
That's like a baby.
I would have been right. I would have been up. I would
You
have
know,
been away.
if I say the name Lucius Ferris, does that mean anything to you?
Lucius Ferris. The only thing I can think of with Lucius after you said it was Lucius Vorenus, who's one of the characters in Rome, which is an HBO series about the rise of Caesar and the fall of Caesar, which is incredible.
Okay, so you're warm.
that's-
So maybe they changed the name just a little bit. Gladiator.
Yeah.
He's the kid.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then he's the one, and you know, when Joaquin Phoenix comes, the emperor comes and talks about the busy little bees.
Yeah.
And then he's like telling him how he sleeps so well because he is loved. He sleeps like he's loved.
Yeah.
That's how I sleep.
That's what you
like I'm
sleep.
loved. Yeah. Just
Are you saying you and Commodus have things in common?
no,
Other than
nothing in common.
You just both sleep well.
no. Lucius sleeps.
Oh,
well.
Lucius sleeps well.
Yeah, the young,
yeah.
the young man.
Little does he know.
Yeah,
Because
Lucius.
isn't Commodus inevitably he's the threat? Lucius is the
He
threat.
is, but it doesn't.
It
ever
doesn't
get-
manifest.
No.
Did
Yeah.
you see the new one?
No, I've heard from too many people that I like and who I know loved Gladiator and said it's one of the worst films they've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, do you not share that opinion?
I
When you
never
say
saw
watch it.
I did not see it.
No, I was told,
I don't really have an interest.
Like
I feel
it
like
is a
they did it.
disgrace to the previous film.
They did it.
Yeah.
I don't need it done
Agreed.
again. And there was actually a Starz series that was kind of about that too. That was kind of about that time. It
Yep.
was kind of in a gladiator. I don't remember
Yep.
the name of it, but
It was very good though.
well. Yeah, I've seen several episodes. I never
Very good.
sat down and watched it start to finish, but I think it has a lot of the things that we enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
There you go.
Back to Miss K.
Yeah,
Did
Miss
he,
K.
did he just trance around again?
I don't know what he's talking
Yes, I'd like. I hope he does a full loop.
Yeah.
She has, and this has been a game changer, I think, for the mornings, and for in a situation where somebody wants to wake up. Because if you set an alarm, like my alarm, depending on the day and depending on my mood, is either the Game of Thrones theme, so it just hits like dun, 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 like right out of the gate. That's so like boom, you're shot out of a cannon.
God.
Sometimes it's, do you smell what the Rock is cooking? And then it goes into the Rock's old
You
corporate
set these
rock
the
theme.
night before?
Like if I ever have to have an alarm, that's how I wake up. It wakes
Is
up to
that
either
way?
wake up to Game of Thrones or The Rock, and I'm just like ready to go. If you wake up to Game of Thrones when that thing hits,
Yeah, that's a shot.
dude, you're
in the arm.
ready.
You're not
to
going back
roll.
to sleep. No,
You're like, let's go,
Let's go, baby.
conquer the world,
let's go.
the
Yeah,
7 kingdoms.
yeah, that's a hell of a.
But so Miss K used to have what I found. I did not enjoy her ringer. It was a standard one, but it would wake me up. It was annoying, tough. So now on her Apple Watch,
yeah,
her alarm just like shakes her arm, kind of.
it's like
It like buzzes her arm and buzzes. It keeps going
oh,
more and more
until
until you wake up.
Until you stop.
So
I would say
for the partner,
home run.
silent.
Yeah, big win.
It's silent. You know, sometimes you'll catch a stray when, if you're holding
Yeah.
hands and being romantic while you sleep, and then you'll get, oh, hey.
Hey, it's time.
But it's so much easier to go to bed, back to bed, than if you're like jolted up and thinking you're about to like take on the Lannisters.
If you are someone who still awakens by like the
Oh,
I don't understand with all of the options that we have how anyone would choose that. I just don't. So my alarm is come Monday,
Yeah.
Jimmy Buffett. That's been my
Okay,
alarm
okay.
for probably 15 years.
Okay.
As long as I've had an Apple phone, however long that goes back, that is the song that I wake up to and have forever is that one. But my wife sometimes will still go with like the old one, like when she's like an attention getter.
Yeah.
And if it's one of those instances where like we have to catch a flight and she sets it like 2 minutes before mine and it goes off first,
Yeah.
I am immediately in a bad mood.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I can't.
So how would this do for you? Let's see if I can get to play here. How would this do for you?
Do you smell what the Rock is cooking?
Yeah. That's fine. That's nice. I like it.
The Rock says.
So that's one of them.
I like it.
I either wake up to that one, or I wake up to this, which is this one's and you'll know that you know the Game of Thrones thing, but it's the way it hits is a heater. And then I wake up with this.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah.
Unreal,
that
right?
series largely forgotten because of, and you don't even hear people talking about it the way people talk about some of the other rewatchables.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
nobody does that.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to mention on G-Man, the way he popped in there, there is a scene, I want to say, in the 3rd season of Eastbound and Down where Kenny Powers and Shane are in the locker room and they're making fun of people and they're doing like these type of jokes. And Powers says to Shane, "You always come in a big way." That's what I feel about every time I hear the G-Man. You always come in a big way.
Yeah.
Like I think
love
that's it every time. So every time, and it's funny because it had a series of G-Men through the years who were Stevies, who you were hoping that they were Stevie Janowski, and it was such a form of endearment because of the loyalty that Stevie had for Kenny.
For sure.
He's transformed beyond Stevie. He's Shane.
Yep.
G-Man has become Shane. That's where we're at.
I just want to hear G-Man talk about the fixins. I'll never get your fixins off the floor again.
Did you watch Gemstones?
Not yet. I'm going to. I just honest to goodness,
I would love
haven't
to
had-
know. I know I haven't
had
either,
time.
but I'm very curious about your.
So I
thoughts
did
on what
see
they do.
something that it appears just from like pulling up the screen that they use as the like the still image.
Yeah.
That it appears that Bradley Cooper's in like the Civil War or something.
Nailed it.
Okay. And so he's going to be like an ancient gemstone.
Nailed
It's going
it.
to be great.
Well,
No, not.
it's a choice. What did you think of it, Gibby?
Missing shots is what I'm doing over here.
Sad. Hate to see it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything because
I'm gonna
I
love
am
it.
the king of walking right through something. Connor, the show killer today, was talking to Josh,
Connor,
our
the show
video
killer.
intern downstairs.
How did he get that name?
I made it up when literally I was taping something earlier today for my other project, and I looked like we're getting ready, and Josh has a question about a certain TV show, and Connor just blows right through the stop sign, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, I think you just gave it all away, and he goes, all right. Josh goes, all right, I think I'll just start with season 4
Oh, jeez.
because you just
The
ruined
rest of it's
3
wrecked.
seasons.
Oh,
I
shit.
know what it was. It's the news that Ted Lasso season 4 is in progress.
Oh, yeah. Here's what I would say, like on that, because I hadn't seen that. I haven't seen that show. It's been available for me to see it for a long time.
Yeah,
if
that's a
if
choice
it was
at this
something,
point.
if somebody ruins something for me
Well,
at
but
this
on you.
point, I feel
Josh
like it's on me.
Josh had told
on
him, "Hey, I'm
Oh, he
halfway
just
through
started.
season 1," and Connor just rolls
Just
right through the
blows
stop
through it.
sign.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's when I was
That's
like,
no good.
Connor the show killer, because
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it anymore at this point.
Can't have that. All right, there you go. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, Z sits down one-on-one with new quarterback Kenny Pickett. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Add more fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today, get 50 back in bonus bets. So you place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Now here is Z, one-on-one with new quarterback Kenny Pickett.
Kenny, first of all, let
You're done.
me congratulate you and welcome you to the Cleveland Browns. How you feeling?
Good, man. Thank you. Yeah, excited to be here.
So this has been a little bit of a whirlwind, right? First round pick in this division, Pittsburgh Steelers, and now you were probably for a while played your college ball there. We don't like Cleveland, and you've taken a little bit of a route there, and we'll talk about that in a second, but is it crazy that you're here now?
Yeah, I think the NFL's crazy. You never know where the journey's going to take you, and this is just my journey. But I'm really, really happy to be here and excited to join the team.
Was it easier to find out you were being traded the second time?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of had a feeling of it,
Okay.
Played in a couple games this season, felt like I put out some good tape. Very mutual between me and the Eagles, and I have a lot of love for the Eagles. We were just trying to, figure out where my next stop would be.
Is it strange that you had somebody in the front office of the Eagles that looks exactly like the general manager of the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah. I honestly didn't know that until I talked to his brother for the first time, and I was watching tape. I left the room, and he talks to me in the hallway. I'm like, God, he looks just like the GM for the Browns. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh my God, well, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, that's kind of how I found out.
So you would have to imagine that we have very good intel on you. So it tells you something of what the Eagles thought of you, even though they've traded you, and obviously what the Browns think of you to want to bring you in.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I appreciate it. I'm just excited to get to work.
The name of the game in this league is winning, and you've done that. You're 15-10 as a starter in the National Football League. Does that kind of fuel you and say, hey, man, there are plenty of people out there that have not had the success, haven't put on tape what I put on tape. I want another crack at it. I am a starter in this league.
Yeah, I do. I do believe that, and I think this is a great team to continue to add to that and win some games here. So there's a lot of talent, a lot of great football players here, a lot of great coaches. So I'm excited to learn the system and get going.
What have you kind of learned through this journey? Because, I mean, you go from being obviously ultra successful in college. You come to the NFL first-round pick. You go 7-5 in your 2 years, as a starter there in Pittsburgh. It seems like it's going well, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're in Philly. You win a Super Bowl, take the knee to win a Super Bowl, something everybody dreams out. I know you want to play the first portion of that, and then now here you are in Cleveland. What have you learned kind of along what has probably been a surprising journey?
Yeah, I think it's just be where your feet are, because it's just, you never know what could happen. It's a crazy business, crazy league. Just take it every day, one step at a time, be where your feet are, and put everything into the team.
Was it helpful, do you think, for your development to go to a place like Philly that obviously had the success that it had, be behind a quarterback who has had the success that, Jalen has had in this league, be around, Saquon and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Goddard and that great line, and kind of just be able to see things maybe from a different perspective and work on maybe little things that when you're constantly thrown in the fire, you don't get the chance to really work on as much?
Yeah, I think it was huge. Having a chance to join that team, that franchise, and see how it's run from the top down, really. Getting to be, a full season with those caliber of players and seeing how they go about their business definitely only helped me in my career.
What do you think is kind of the biggest thing that you learned while you're in Philly, or the biggest thing you'll take and you want to be able to show on the field here?
Yeah, I think team culture, and I think a lot of people look for other things in the NFL because obviously it's the NFL. It's a different game a little bit, right? Guys are bigger, faster, stronger, but the core values of football still hold true, at the NFL level. And I think that was like the heartbeat of the team, was the culture of the team, seeing how everybody cared about one another, how hard every guy played. I think that's why we got to where we got to. So,
did you also learn something maybe about adversity? Because I remember we actually played you guys after your bye week. It was week 6. I think the Eagles were 2-2 at that time, and people were not happy with Sirianni. People were not happy with the offense. And then all of a sudden you guys, I think, maybe lost one more time the rest of the way through the Super Bowl. Just kind of, there was some adversity that you guys came out and really overcame and then got on that roll.
Yeah, there's adversity early on, like injuries. There's certain things that happen that guys have to step up and go play. We kind of found our way, found our identity, and it just took off from there. So once the wins start stacking, guys get confidence. That's where you see guys play really elevate to a new level.
One of the things I think a lot of people look for in a quarterback is what I call clutch meter, right? Can you do it when you need to do it? You have 15 wins. 7 of them you have led a game-winning drive. So you've got it, as far as I'm concerned. You've proven that in the NFL. What is that about those moments that has always kind of brought the best out in you?
I think preparation. I'm not thinking too much in those moments because during the week I put in a lot of time to be prepared for it. I have a good feeling of what they're going to run and what our plan is. So when the time comes, I just go out and play. And you got to rely on your teammates. Guys have to do their job. I have to do my job. and you'll get the result you want.
Have you talked to maybe some of the other guys around the league that are in a similar situation to you? Because it kind of feels like we're in almost a renaissance period, right, of first-round quarterbacks who maybe it didn't work out with their team. Then again, you were 15-10 as a starter. I think 14-10 obviously there. That works out as far as I'm concerned. But, go somewhere, they back up for a year. Sam Darnold's a backup with the 49ers for a year, and then goes and all of a sudden, that's where it is. Is there something to that? I don't know if you've talked to any of those guys who have similar experiences, but maybe that year of learning and learning and learning where you're not necessarily your head spinning because you're having to play every Sunday, but you're just kind of learning, growing, and then now ready for that next opportunity.
Yeah, I think that goes a long way. I got a chance to train with Geno Smith down in Florida for a little bit. I'm going to head back down there and get some more work with him. But just talking to him and have so much respect for his journey and what he went through. And he just stayed at it and he works hard. So he's a guy that I feel like we're pretty like-minded in how we train, so we get along really well. And just being able a chance to watch him work every day, bounce things off of him and his career and what he's been through. He's a great guy, so he's one of the guys that I've definitely been able to talk to this offseason.
That's awesome. What's one thing you want, or two things, as many as you want actually, that you want Browns fans to know about Kenny Pickett, the quarterback? And I'll ask you about Kenny Pickett, the man, in a second.
Yeah, just I'll do anything to win. I think that's probably the number one criteria. You talked about adversity and being in different situations. When I step between the lines, I will put it on the line to go win. So that's the one guarantee that I'll bring.
What do you want them to know about Kenny Pickett, the man?
I just try to be the best person I can be, man. It's not hard to be a good guy. I think you got to go out of your way to be a bad guy. I want to embrace the city, embrace the fans, embrace the people in this building, treat everybody the right way, and usually things work out in your favor.
Well, we're excited to see you get assimilated into this offense, get to work with Coach Stefanski, Coach Reese, and Bill Musgrave, and see what you can do here now that you're a Cleveland Brown. So we're thrilled to have you. Welcome, and hopefully this is the start of something special.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Really likable dude. Kenny's good too.
Yeah, so I've been, first of all, again, he's had success. He maybe has had a little bit of a raw deal.
Connor with the K got it. He grabbed it.
Say squirrel as a girl's head's on a swivel. Where? Cat. Dog.
I got it, Bo.
Thanks. Kev got it too. Go ahead.
Just say, very likable kid. Mm-hmm. Guy has been successful in this league. Mm-hmm. And, I think it's been tough. He's been in some tough offensive situations. This is going to be an opportunity for an offense that probably fits what he does well better than perhaps some of the other ones they had. So I think it's a good opportunity. Everybody said personality-wise, he's going to fit in very well. Mm-hmm. So that's where I think we are.
You actually in the break actually took a literal bite of an apple.
I did,
as you were consuming one, and I like how you phrase that. It is a bite. It's a former first round pick.
Yep,
he's been in. It's not too dissimilar from like the Justin Fields spot in Chicago, some other spots out there where a guy gets drafted. It's not a philosophical fit for the talent, so forth, so on. Maybe somebody gives up too early, who knows, but there's something in there. There's a rehabilitation that can take place. It's happened with Darnold. It's happened with a bunch of these guys in the last few years, and you talk to him about that, about the ability to, there's a roadmap here to do this another way, and so he wants the opportunity. He's going to get it here. So I like it. I think it's one of those things where he now gets a clean slate. Organization gets a clean slate at him, and we'll see.
Yeah, and he's got an opportunity, to compete, and the history of our quarterback room would say that it is more likely than not that if he ends up as the number 2 quarterback here, that he's going to see the field at some point. That's just the way that the league is.
The league, yeah.
So I like it as I keep talking about that kind of that 2027 horizon. He's a guy that you would have on a rookie deal for this year and next year, mm-hmm. because you could obviously, if you like him, you could pick up that 5th-year option. That's later in the first round. It'd still be a big number, but mm-hmm. if you like him and it's a backup, you'd have, so very little risk. And I tell people, we gave up a 5th-round pick. That's 20% chance of being something. Now, you'd love it to be something. That's great, but in this case, it's not.
So often you hear when people reference like Tom Brady was this pick or Brock Purdy was the 7th-round last pick. There are those instances of where you strike gold in those later rounds, and you have to do those from time to time. But most of those picks, to your point, 80% don't.
Nope.
So you get a bite at an apple at a first round talent, and it's DTR going that way in a 5, and you get you get some time to take a look at Kenny Pickett, and he gets to do with Kevin Stefanski an offense that to me ought to fit his skill set pretty well.
Yep.
I think they ought to see this field kind of the same.
Yep.
And so he's really cerebral kid, and it feels like one of those things where perhaps maybe there's a chance here, and so that's the swing at it. What do you think is a timeline for adding to that room? You and I have been adamant adding to that room in the draft is in April, but in terms of more in that room, to me it feels like the Rodgers domino has to fall. Not that we're swimming in those waters, and I don't know about Russell Wilson was here, but I'm with you. It feels like Giants for him. So Pittsburgh is Rodgers or Mason Rudolph. Who else needs to, I mean, you're talking about Flacco, Wentz. I mean, there aren't many left.
Minshew's in Kansas City now as a backup. He was somebody that I thought maybe would have gotten an opportunity in Tennessee or somewhere else. It was tough. It's tough to decipher. I don't think it has anything to do with us.
No, I don't either.
I don't think any of it really has anything to do with us, and I don't think any of it has to do with what is going to be our number one priority, which is finding that rookie quarterback. And I believe that I really believe that is our number one priority. I think, as I said before, if you believe that it's a 2-quarterback draft, you're golden. If you believe it's a 1-quarterback draft, then you have got to find a way. And quite frankly, I think the sooner you can secure that, the better.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I think it just sets the direction of the organization to everybody. The sooner that you can secure, if it is a 1-quarterback draft to you and that quarterback is Cam Ward, the sooner that you can secure the number 1 pick. I want to go look back in 2016 and see kind of when, let's see, the Rams trade to 1 with Titans 2016. I want to see when that happened because I believe it. I don't think it happened. So they did it on April 14th. So closer to the draft, certainly, than we are. But that's when they did it, April 14th.
I was going through this list, ESPN best available free agents still out there.
Yep.
To their rankings, Cam Robinson, the offensive tackle, is number 1 on that. Stephon Diggs still a free agent. Mekhi Becton, who was a high draft pick, free agent. Amari Cooper, free agent.
Nicholas Jamal Chubb, free agent. And at this point, I think and I'm sure many of you out there listening or those of you who are going to watch this later on, you're going to feel the fact like you want him back.
Yeah.
And if there isn't a market for him, if you can sign him on a minimum, that would be great. Minimum with incentives or something close to it. If that is the reality of it, I think it would behoove this organization to bring him back.
If Nick Chubb has a renaissance,
I
want it to be here.
Yes, he's right.
Yeah.
We look at him every day.
Physically, he's not here, but there's a giant mural of him,
a life-size mural.
There she is. Yeah. So in terms of quarterbacks in the top 25, it's Rodgers, Wilson, then Jameis, and then it's Flacco and Wentz and that.
I'd be totally fine if our quarterback room was Cam Ward, Joe Flacco, and Kenny Pickett. I think that'd be a great quarterback room.
Yeah,
I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be great if that's what it is.
Joe would be thrilled to be back here. He is beloved here. I think he would take the mentorship role, even though he, as previously said, that's not where he was. I think that he'd understand that would be a good place to be. Beloved, I would certainly love that. Knows this style of offense and how to run it very well. I think he'd be an invaluable resource for both Kenny Pickett and Cam Ward. Understands this division as well as anybody. Mm-hmm. I would love to see that. Absolutely love to see it.
Yeah. What you just laid out is, I think that works.
It's 2 real bites at the apple. Mm-hmm. It allows you, because you're probably going to have to give up one of those picks that we had maybe earmarked for a second quarterback in the draft, takes that out. But by the way, to me, getting Kenny Pickett gives you that kind of second rookie quarterback bite.
I think that's fair.
So you'd have a nice veteran. You'd have, Cam Ward, and you'd have Kenny Pickett. I'd love that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, want to go around the league? All right, take a quick timeout. We'll go around the league. Maliek Collins may be joining us, new defensive tackle as well. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're brought to you by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Add more fun to your fandom with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Download today, get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time to go around the league. Our old buddy Charlie Hewlett has a new home. He will be going to Philadelphia and playing for the Eagles. Charlie's an all-timer. I will miss Charlie at training camp.
Great dude. It was great to watch him.
Machine.
Jugs machine sitting on his physio ball.
Yeah.
Having the time. Yeah, it's amazing.
The Chiefs are signing Bailey Zappi to their quarterback room. He joins Gardner Minshew as well. So
How about it?
Former Brown Bailey Zappi on that.
Yeah.
Rumors are the Cowboys are making a push for Cooper Kupp. I think the thing I read this morning, too, is Kupp's asking price is quite large.
I heard that, and then I heard Seattle, which to me is wild because you're going to just run all slot receivers?
I don't know. They were going to put anybody on the outside? I don't know.
Yeah, strange.
Yeah, very. The Giants, before they host Russell Wilson, hosted Joe Flacco
there he is.
yesterday.
Looks like he's coming this way.
Well, I don't know. Could be, maybe.
Kind of looks like he's coming this way.
Is he coming this way? Malik coming this way, Gibbe? Make sure that
Coming
he knows
in.
that we're
Kev,
hot.
Kev, do you have a commercial break that you can play, like a quick 2-minute break for me, real quick?
You know it. I can do that.
Let's do that right now, please.
All right, there you go. So we'll have Maliek Collins on the other side of this quick timeout. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back in. Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet. Bo and Z here, joined in studio by Maliek Collins, new defensive tackle, joining us now. Welcome to town, my friend. It's good to see you. What was it about this situation that attracted you and got you to sign on the line, which is dotted?
It was mainly just the organization, just seeing what's been built here, seeing what is continuing to be built. I think this scheme fits me to a T, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
I'm sure, Jim Schwartz wants you to just get upfield and get after the quarterback, which has to be music to your ears. Back-to-back seasons with 5 sacks, and you did it in Houston, did it in 49ers, and now hopefully here again or even more with the Browns.
Definitely want to surpass that this year. I think we'll have opportunities to do that playing with, some of this talent that we have here. Myles, Joe Tryon, people that's new here. I mean, Joe's new here too, so I'm excited to be here.
And you're gonna have a young pup next to you named Mike Hall, who
Oh yeah,
showed quite a bit of promise last year.
I seen him on film. He a baller, man. I got to talk to him down in the locker room.
Nice.
I'm excited to play with him.
That's one of those things too. When you think about your experience in the league, and we were talking off air about the type of talent that you've played with on defensive lines in your career. You've kind of seen it all. You've been exposed to and played along some of the best defensive linemen in the game. What about those experiences do you hope that you can bring here, playing along somebody like Myles, who is here today, big day for him here in the building, and then also a young guy like Mike Hall?
I think those experiences shaped me to be who I am. I think as a young player, once upon a time, I was in the same position as Mike Hall coming in. As far as Myles go, I mean, it's kind of different, man. You know, Myles is like Superman. You know? But I got a lot of experience playing next to great players like that. Played with Bosa.
Yep.
John Grenard, who's having a hell of a run right now.
Yep.
DeMarcus Lawrence before that, Robert Quinn before that. So I mean, just playing with some of these people and. I think with the Mike Hall situation, when I was going into my fourth year, they brought Michael Bennett into Dallas, and it just it really springboarded my career. It helped my confidence. It helped me understand exactly who I was in this league, and I think that's something I can help him with eventually.
I said pay it forward, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What did you learn from Michael Bennett?
Just to be myself, just to not care, just be myself. And just to go play ball. It's production.
He certainly lives that. There's no doubt about that. So you mentioned the scheme earlier. What do you love about this scheme and what Jim Schwartz is going to ask you to do in it?
I mean, I can't cuss on here.
No. We prefer not.
Prefer not.
Yeah. I guess I just got to stop there then.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing that
I like that. By the way, a lot of things are in my mind.
There's
that
a
could
lot
be the
of
answer.
ways
That'd
you
be
could
great.
go there. One thing that we know about what Jim wants defensively and what this identity of this team has been since Jim's been here has been built on the defensive side, and it is a punch you in the mouth.
Aggressive.
There's a bravado. There's an aggressiveness to it. I assume that lights you up with the idea to get to play in that type of circumstances.
For sure. And specifically speaking, I'm going to speak on the 23 season because that's what I'm most familiar with the Browns because we watched them a lot. That was number one defense in the league. We played out in the playoffs. So
Yes. Yes, you did.
I think that was
went better for you that day.
Yeah, that was. And Jock, he was on the other side then. He was our D-line coach in Houston, and we was going out there and we was like, we gotta be the hardest playing defense to win this game. And we were that day. But
Yeah, you were. Yeah.
However, I think, being a part of that, being that group that everybody wanted to compare themselves to, I think that's what, that's Schwartz's expectation, and that's the standard that he set here, and that's what I'm hoping to come in and contribute to.
You mentioned Jacques Césaire, obviously our defensive line coach, beloved, and you were there with Obo Okoronkwo in Houston, who was on with him, and he was thrilled to come here and reunite. What is it that players love about him? Because he's pretty much universally loved.
Man, he lets you be you. He's a former player.
Yep.
He played 9 years in the league, 10 training camps. He'll tell you, but 9 years. He's a player's coach. You can learn a lot from him, especially on this side of his career, and you can learn things about what he did, wish he would have did different while he was playing. I think everybody wants a coach that's going to pour into him.
Yep.
I think that's exactly who he is.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And he is, like I said, very well regarded, and it's a good mix, I think, of veterans now in your room, young guys in your room, and a chance to, get after it. When you think about this division, you got to get after it up front, right? Do you want to stop Lamar Jackson? You want to stop Joe Burrow and even the Steelers who have found a way to win? But it's a physical, in your face, and it starts a lot of times at the line of scrimmage.
Nah, for sure.
Which is going to be fun.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think about the fans here? Have you had experience with the dog pound?
No, I haven't, but I've played here, and I love it.
You
It's probably one of my favorite stadiums to play in. I like how the stadium kind of sits right off the water.
Yeah. Yes, it is. That's okay.
Right.
We got dump.
Kev's got it.
Kev's got it.
Back home.
Kev's got it.
You're
No, you're good.
I'm already on it, guys.
You're
Don't
good.
worry.
He's
You're
on
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's,
It can be very cold.
I actually got my first 2 sacks here back in 2016, so
Okay.
it's kind of nostalgic for me.
Your first sacks of the league were here.
Yeah.
How about that?
Wow.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
That was a game in which the Dallas Cowboys did not struggle against the Cleveland Browns that day.
No, a little different operation now though than it was in those days. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes. No, that was pretty much it. When you think about kind of, being in places and, Houston, obviously you guys got C.J. Stroud, go to the playoffs. Last year the Niners, so many injuries, and obviously that season didn't end the way that it wanted. Well, neither did ours last year, but still a lot of talent here. When you think of kind of team goals, when you said individual goals for yourself, but you also said team goals, what kind of is the vibe you're getting on what this team can be?
Well, when I sat down with the head man, he mainly spoke on being tough and competitive.
Yep.
I think that's who I am. I think that embodies me to a T. I love to push my teammates. I love to be pushed. So I think that's. I think we're gonna have a good relationship.
Have you learned something walking into? You played with the Dallas, you've been with the Raiders, you've been with the Texans, Niners. This will be your fifth team. Coming in now, you're established, right? Coming into a locker room, kind of figuring out where you fit. You have some familiar faces here, which I'm sure is helpful.
Yeah.
But just kind of being able to be like, look, I've done this. I've seen success.
I don't think that's the approach you come in with. I think the approach you come in with is, you got to always prove yourself.
Absolutely.
I think that's the hardest part about relocating is to come in and prove yourself and just show them what work.
Does that keep you hungry though? I'm going to show this locker room too.
You got to show them how shine.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
I think that's me.
Maliek, is there one thing you'd want the fans to know about you that maybe they don't? Maybe something off the field?
I'm just excited to be here. I'm just excited to be here. They get to know me as the time goes on.
Yeah, they'll appreciate you.
Yeah, well, we're excited to have you.
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
Good seeing you. Maliek Collins in studio. Thanks, buddy. Greatly appreciated. Myles, Garrett in 2 minutes. Bish, we're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Back for another season from your favorite four-legged companion. It's year 3 of Barking Backers, presented by Milk Blown, the fan club for dogs. View membership options and join today at barkingbackers.com. Today is the day that Myles was back. Press conference from earlier in the morning, and now exclusively one-on-one with Dr. Z.
Very happy to be joined now by the man of the hour, Myles Garrett, 6-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro, Defensive Player of the Year, the only player in the history of this game to have 4 straight seasons with 14 or more sacks, and the man who has now signed the biggest contract for a non-quarterback in the history of the National Football League. How does that all feel?
I mean, feels great that it all came together the way it did. It's thanks to AB, it's thanks to the Haslams, to Nicole, to my wonderful team. They've done a great job being in constant communication and working through all of this. And it's been difficult at times, but I think the right decision was made, and I'm glad to be back here.
Let's be honest about it. The greatest athletes in the history of the world, and I'll just use a couple from basketball just quickly. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. They hated to lose more than they liked to win. They hated to lose so much that it became all-consuming, and that they would do anything in their power to do that. Now, in the NBA, as you know, given your involvement with the National Basketball Association, one guy has an opportunity to have a little bit more effect than in the NFL. You can have an effect, but it's not 5. It's 22 that are really starters. But that mentality, I think, explains a lot of how you were feeling at the end of this season and why it is hard to figure out what the next step is for somebody who has reached singular greatness in your chosen profession, but has not reached team greatness and has had to deal with that pain that I'm sure has gnawed at you.
Absolutely. That's always been my mindset, and it's definitely come from those greats, including LeBron, Messi, Ali, those guys. I've always looked up to them and how they viewed the game, how they attacked the game, and also how they elevated others. Whether that was being aggressive with their leadership tactics and how they mentored guys, or having a softer touch. Just knowing their personnel, and it can be frustrating. When you take it that seriously, when you're that involved in winning and what it takes, and you want to get everybody on the same page, and feeling what you feel after every game, whether that's the elation of winning or that's the heartbreak of losing. And I want everyone to understand the kind of disappointment that we felt and take something from it. I wanted to burn in your soul for this this entire offseason, so that it still sticks to you each and every game until we get to where we want to be. And I think a lot of the guys are starting to get the message, and we can only continue to grow from here.
So I think you talked about in your press conference earlier that you needed some time maybe away from even that feeling, and so you were able to get that time. But you have also reached a level where you're actually able to be and have real conversations about, well, what is this going to look like? Because I need to win. I need it. I need to breathe air. So whatever light you want to shed, can you kind of take us through those conversations with AB and how it finally crescendoed to a point where you said, I'm in, let's go, let's win in Cleveland?
I think it came to a head when I think my determination and frustration, my mindset for winning and about winning, met up with AB's determination to keep me here and to see that we can win soon. And he was persistent in making me see that he was steadfast, and he was also patient. Dealing with some of the frustrations that I had, and dealing with the early on conversations, and I think it was a lot of back and forth. Understanding that I was disappointed, I was frustrated, I was tired. I was beat up after the season. I wasn't feeling good. I didn't go into the season feeling good, and so for it to all to come for not whether individually or collectively as a team, it was a hard pill to swallow. But him, just making sure that he took his time and that I took my time, looking at how the each team was playing out with their moves from free agency and what the draft is looking like. Adding some of these pieces to come in and be mentored and having a immediate effect. That helped really swing my mindset and see what he was saying.
The big part of that is going to have to be, and this, it's quarterback, right? And you look at the last two teams that have picked second in the draft. Houston gets C.J. Stroud. They've gone to the playoffs every year. Last year, Washington gets Jane Daniels. They go right to the playoffs. The Browns now have an opportunity, perhaps, hopefully, to find a quarterback that they think can do that. How important was that in your discussions to saying, okay, what is the plan at this position? And I'm sure you have an idea, and certainly don't share it with us here, but that has to be a big driver in giving you comfort, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Any team that's going to go far needs a quarterback and one that
good one.
That's young, can learn, is willing to be patient with the process, and he's not deterred or discouraged early on. There's going to be some bumps in the road. It's going to be some learning pains, but us as a team, as an organization, has to be able to be a landing pad for him, to fall back on, and being able to be on the defensive side and help him out whenever things go wrong. That's crucial. And that's not just for a young quarterback. That's for veterans and guys who have been here for a while. So as far as quarterbacks, he's laid out a plan on whether it's one from the draft or an older guy. He's kind of laid out something that makes the future look a little bit brighter here, and makes me feel more confident about if someone were to come here, they have some help not only in their room but from some of the veteran guys who are also here.
So now that we've got that, and you can keep that little list inside your pocket there until we get to know as well down the road who that quarterback will be or quarterbacks will be for the Cleveland Browns. But here you are now. You've signed the deal. It's full speed ahead, right? You're going to do everything you can. You've said it multiple times. So when we know that the frustration was born out of the hurt of not achieving the goals that you want to achieve as a team, because certainly on a personal level, you've achieved greatness in this profession. Going forward, kind of what's your message to the team? What's your message to the fans? What's your message to this city about what it's going to look like in the things, again, you can only control what you can control, but in the things that Myles Garrett can control, what is that going to look like going forward?
It's going to look like a well-oiled machine. It's this sloppy Brenner ball that we kind of became accustomed to last year. That's out of here, and we've got to be more consistent around the board. It's going to look just more in unison. It felt a lot. It felt disjointed last year. From each phase, each position, and just not getting what we needed out of every group from Sunday to Sunday. And we're going to be all together as one unit. Each time we step on that field.
Well, I know we can't wait to get Huntington Bank Field rocking, get some more wins, and get it there. I just want to say congratulations to you and your family. I mean, this is multi-generational changing and an incredible accomplishment, well-deserved. So congrats.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, there you go. Z and Myles, one-on-one. Pretty cool.
That
Very,
was
very
good.
cool.
And I think we got a little bit, all of us who have been in highly competitive situations, losing sucks.
It stinks, man. Yeah.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
I have one of my best friends in the world, Vince Conti. Tremendous human. If we played Madden, if I lost once, I didn't care if I won. It drove me nuts.
Yeah.
So, imagine repeated. It just has to take its toll on you. And I think maybe some people forget there has to be some trauma for Myles' first season in the league.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You go from you're the man.
Yep.
And your team doesn't win a game?
Yeah, and I'm sure he's like, man, I don't want to go back to that.
No. And I think that's probably a little bit was the fears. I can't, that was a rebuild, tear down to the studs.
Yes.
And he's like, I can't do that again. And so I think it is so important, and clearly to me, and I took away from that interview there with him, that he feels excitement about whatever the plan is at quarterback. So that's why I get back to there has to be a bigger move, and the one that would seem to make the most logical sense is that's it. We're controlling our destiny. We're going to one.
Yeah, and that's the only real solution to it. Is
If
that.
you believe it's
if
one.
you believe there's one, is
Yes.
that, and that is how you get this back quickly. Is that way. Is landing that, and we just Cornelius in here yesterday talking about that with Washington, with Jaden Daniels, about how you get him and it's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
everything flipped in a second. Very good job out of you, very good job out of Myles. Myles at the podium earlier in the morning. We'll have some of those highlights for you and react to those coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Elk and Elk, serious lawyers, serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO for a free case review. Elk and Elk's proud partner of your Cleveland Browns. We will hit the mailbag in just a little bit. Hello, Gibbe.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Crazy, but good.
You're flying today, baby.
Oh, give
Yes.
Gibbe's flying.
About a 5:20.
Is everything lining up for you well?
Yeah, we looking
I
good?
don't know.
Throughout
I think
the day,
so.
have you looked yet to see, are we running on time?
I'm going to go with yes.
I mean, if you can't fly on this day, I don't know what to tell you.
Correct.
There's no de-icing.
No, and luckily you're not flying anywhere like Georgia, Arkansas, Mississippi. Like these are the days.
Yeah.
These are the days. Tornado Alley,
It's a little dicey.
super active day. I can tell you, having lived in that area, like days like today, were like head on the
coming.
swivel, kids.
Yeah.
Anything could be coming.
Yeah.
So
So
I guess
my-
we're supposed to have some weather tomorrow here, and then it's going to hit Florida on Sunday.
Is that what it is? I have lacrosse outside all day on Sunday, and I thought it looked like it was going to be warmer, but a little bit of rain. Oh yeah, 62. Tomorrow light. Yeah,
We're gonna be all right.
93% chance.
Hey,
I think we're fine.
Hey, let's talk about being all right tomorrow. Let's talk about maybe from the hours.
Today's going to
of-
be unbelievable.
Can we talk about the hours of maybe noon to 4 tomorrow? Looking good. Can we talk about that? Can we have some
Let me get you
beautiful weather?
Noon to 4 in. You're going to be in my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to be all right. I mean, I see 63 approaching all the way to 71, overcast, but little chance for splash, but nothing crazy. It's not till after later evening that you get the lightning.
Yeah, correct.
Perfect.
Yeah, there's nothing till overnight tomorrow morning.
Hey,
Okay.
safe.
By the way, I got
Safe.
some news from 38 minutes ago, 39 minutes ago. The Chiefs are bringing back Kareem Hunt on a 1-year, $1.5 million deal.
It's amazing.
So where does that? Do you think that fits Chubb's market?
It's not going to be much more than that.
No, it's not.
This running back draft is so loaded. By the way, you have a lot of people who are pretty talented. Like Najee really signed a 1-year, $4 million deal.
Yeah, right.
Javonte
Yeah, it's-
Williams' deal is not even really 1 year, $3 million. I mean, I would love that to be. Let that be today's 322.
322. Do that. 307. Yeah, let's do that. Let's
Yeah.
get Nick Chubb re-signed. Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you have some sound bites from Myles' press conference from earlier today that presented by Vivid Seats. Purchase your official fan experience package today for the ultimate game day.
Yeah, cut number 1, Myles talking about there was always a possibility that he would be able to come back here.
I was always saw that as a possibility. So staying here, it wasn't like I had to be roped into it. This is a home, and this is my home. So I feel like at the end of the day, we're gonna continue to make the best decision for ourselves, and how can we turn this into a winner? And those were the next conversations, and continue to have those, like I said, and continue to make it more and more clear how this could open up, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I mean, when he says it couldn't be more home, I mean, he's a part owner in the basketball
Yep.
team. Like
Yep.
he's been completely ensconced in the community. Good stuff there.
Cut number 2, understanding what AB is building here at the Cross Country Mortgage Campus.
Leaning on the expertise of AB to put the right pieces in place, but I do understand what he's building. We've had multiple conversations about that, and I just know that I'm gonna do my part to get everyone online and on board with that goal and that message.
All right, there you go.
There it is.
Locked in.
Locked in. Cut number 3, wants to finish his career.
That's always my plan from the very beginning. I've wanted to stay with the team that I was drafted with, and I've always, like I said before, I wanted to bring a championship here. So that's something that's meant a lot to me. Even when I was coming from high school to college, being that one team guy, and having a place that feels like home. That, you ingrain yourself in the community, and the Canton part sounds great. Players want to be in the Hall of Fame. That's a tremendous individual award, but communities and cities remember championships, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, it's interesting when you think about, we have a pretty damn good Mount Rushmore, like an all-time one. So it's Jim and Otto, Locke, and then Joe. But then, Myles can play. I mean, then it's a ton. I mean, there's a ton of guys that are in that mix. When you think Motley, Groza, so many. But if this stays on this track, that's heady stuff.
Absolutely. Final cut, an interesting one. Myles asked about his interaction yesterday because he was in the building yesterday. His interaction with one Russell Wilson.
I think it went well. I mean, him and I had a little bit of conversation at the Pro Bowl as well as here, and I definitely think he'd be a valuable asset as a leader, as a mentor to those young guys. So a veteran leadership can't be understated, and I think he definitely has some juice left at the position. He's plenty of arm left. He's very smart, and he knows what he's capable of. So he'd be a valuable asset.
There you go. Pretty good. Russ he's New York today. Did I see
Yes,
that?
and New York entertained Flacco yesterday.
Yeah. All right. There you go. All right. Good stuff. Well, it was cool to see him back here. When I came in today, there was a young kid across the street with his dad in a Myles jersey, and you think about what that means to the kids around here to have 95 back and how that impacts them. I know mine were quite thrilled with the idea that he was going to be a Cleveland Brown for his career. We'll hit the mailbag coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns on 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, welcome back in. Time to open up that mailbag. It's presented by the Cross Country Mortgage Company, official mortgage partner of your Cleveland Browns. When it comes to financing, they're always going to get you home. Visit ccm.com today. Equal housing opportunity, NMLS 3029. Hello, Gibby.
Let's get right down to it, gentlemen.
Let's do
Normally
it.
we don't have this much time. We've got a lot of time, and we have a
can
lot of
breathe,
questions.
baby.
Gibby, I'm sure you're hoping that you just want to race to 5 o'clock. I don't blame you.
Nah, I have miles to go before we sleep here. Jeremy Parr with a golf question. Say you played in all 4 major tournaments this year, but started every hole 150 yards from the pin. Could you make all 4 cuts?
Oh, he could for sure.
If I got to start every hole from 150 yards,
out? Yes.
I would.
You'd birdie
I
everything.
think I'd
win it.
have a chance to win.
Yeah.
It's all about the greens at that point.
Yeah, but I can putt. I mean,
Well,
that means every par 5, I'm driving the green on every par 5, or at worst, I'm getting on in 2.
At very worst.
But
If you don't hold, but like the way what do you hit? What's your 150 club?
wedge.
Yeah. So for me, it's an 8. Like, I can hit that. I mean, I'm terrible, and I can hit it pretty idea where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I think even I could do it. I think you could, Gibby? 150?
I feel like I might be able to make a couple of those cuts. I don't know if I can make all 4. I'm all over.
Yeah,
the place
I don't know.
right
I don't know. I think about even like sometimes when I play with NBC and like if we play up tees, like all of a sudden it's like, well, boy, this is a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, or when I play with the boys and like the little guys, it's just not worth it for me to hit 16 tees.
As long as
let's
the
just go
putter's
to
working for me the way I
200
need
out.
it to.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a love-hate.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think you'd win a major, Z, from 150 out.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. I think you'd win it. You'd win it.
I think-
Which one would you win? Which one would be the one? If you could win one major, what would the one you'd win? If that played out and you could go from 150 out and you could win one of them, which one would you want?
Would I want?
Yeah. Which would be the one if you got that gift, if they said, we bestow this upon you, you're going to get to go compete.
I think
from
the
150
easiest
out.
to win would be probably the U.S. Open, because I think it has the toughest tee to green conditions that I'm basically skipping.
You're skipping all. Yeah, right.
So I think that U.S. Open would probably be the easiest to win. I would love to win the British. I think the hardest for me to still win would be Augusta because of the greens.
Yeah.
Like I could 5-putt my way around that course pretty easily. And I think the British would actually be somewhat easier to win because those greens typically, depending on the courses, but like at St. Andrews, for example, like those greens are never going to be lightning. It's never going to be crazy. Like I'm going to 2-putt.
You could 2-putt home. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm hitting my approaches from 150. I mean, I would think that at one of these like if it, for example, let's say it was at St. Andrews and it was a relatively calm day, I feel like I would hope that I would shoot the course record if I'm starting at 150 yards out.
Yeah. Well, you played there. What did you shoot?
70, and I played from the tips, 73, 75.
Yeah. So,
And it was set for the British.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
you're
talking
taking
150,
you're taking 20 strokes off just by not.
I would think.
Yeah. So now you get 55.
Like in the hard par 3s are now all of a sudden. Now, I guess there are some courses that have par 3s, for example, that would be less than 150 yards, but I'd have to hit that from 150. But at that point, I'd like to think I'd be pretty dialed from 150.
I would say. Yeah. You'd hit it a lot. Hit that wedge a lot.
Yeah.
Diehard Browns fan, and I'm going to combo this up with David Cahoon, both of whom tweet at us. If pick 2 is a QB, what position do you target at 33? I believe an OT would be huge. The OT from Minnesota and Oregon would be a help at left tackle. Could also get wide receiver, running back help. David Cahoon also tweets, if there was one wide receiver who you wanted the Browns to draft at 33, who is it? Knowing full well the answer to that first question is you want playmakers.
I just wrote weapons.
Weapons.
Weapons,
That's it.
weapons,
You want to be a
weapons at
running back?
33.
Great. You want to be a wide receiver? Awesome.
Doesn't matter to me.
If you move tight end? Tremendous.
Yeah. No, weapons at 33. Receiver at 33.
I think you might have a better shot at a running back or tight end at 33.
I think you get, what if like Emeka Buka slips to 33?
McFell. I mean, he's a pro, like walking. He's going to be very similar to what like Jackson Smith and Jigba's been for Seattle.
Well, when they throw
Very
the ball,
similar
he's playing
players.
good.
Luka being there at 33.
Yeah, we'll see. I saw it's interesting on the Ohio State guys. I think was it Jordan Reed this morning who said that he thought that there was a chance, like apparently Quinshon Judkins is rising up fast, and that he might end up being like end of first round guy. So I
What
don't
about
know.
Travion?
Mostly what I've heard in the last week's been about Quinshawn. So yeah,
Yeah,
Weapons,
Riz said that
weapons,
yesterday
weapons.
too.
did Riz read that somewhere too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog Pound Cleveland Brown. Watching Severance now. Watched season 1, episode 8 last night. Watching episode 9 tonight. Anything you can say before I watch?
No.
If you can't answer much, what great show are you guys starting next?
Don't say anything because I'm finally able to watch again. So I'm going to get some watch tonight. So no leading. I don't even know that I don't understand that mindset of something to prepare me for an episode. That's not
Don't
how it was
prepare
intended to be.
Sit down and turn
Just
on the
enjoy
television.
It. Enjoy. Like, don't worry about it. Like
So you're getting to watch again when you're
tonight, I'll be able to watch.
Where are
it.
you at?
We're at the very beginning.
Still at
it's
1?
just- Yeah, still at 1 because we've had all sorts of
All right,
stuff
yeah,
over
we
this
gotta-
week. So we
yeah,
got
we
to
gotta
get going a little bit.
We got to get going.
So that's the.
I can't
that's
wait.
the
I can't
situation
wait
there,
for
so.
you to get to that point.
The other thing. So I'm watching 1923, which is a slog and not fun.
I don't know that I'm
at
going to
all.
stick with
I don't
it.
know if
I'm
I
going to be
will
honest
either.
with you.
It's
It's got one more episode.
It better have some fun in it because I can't watch any more of this. Like
It's
just
depressing.
things
and
sucking
brutal.
for no reason.
It's
It's
kind
just
of
so
like
arbitrary.
what was the movie? DiCaprio's in it. It's about Oklahoma and them being terrible to the native.
Killers of the Flower Moon?
Yeah, like, dude, after an hour, I got it, and there were 2 more hours of it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
No, sucks.
Stinks.
Yeah, it's a
Get
bad
it?
thing. I
Bad.
get it.
They're bad people.
Really bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
You don't need. I've gotten it already.
Yeah.
Like, you do not need to hammer it into me anymore. Got it.
Yeah.
Noted.
So and then Lotus is a joy.
It is.
It's fun. And then Gemstones is now going too. So there's a lot going on.
You
right
know in Lotus that the father who Isaacs who's
Yeah.
having a problem. You know who he's based on?
now. No.
So he's supposed to be based on Thomas Ravenel from South Carolina, who's from the Ravenel family, governor in the family, and all
Yeah.
that, who ended up in not in a good way.
Oh.
He was actually on the show Southern Charm briefly before his real downfall.
Is he the one that is that? The
And he
guy
looks like him. He talks like him.
Was he the
He's-
guy who there was a family of South Carolinians where there was like a murder involved? Is that him? Or is
that's actually one of those
true crime
true
thing?
crime things. Yeah.
Yeah. So South Carolina's got a lot of duplicity down there, man.
So
Duplicitous
Ravenel was
acts.
the former. This guy. I mean, this is who he's supposed to be.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you were to have watched this, you would say he's right on it. So he, son of former Representative Arthur Ravenel Jr. from South Carolina. I think there's a governor in the family. He ran for Senate at one point, and I don't know if he got it or not, but So he got busted in 2007, resigned as treasurer, was bad. He's going to run for governor apparently in 2026.
Redemptive arc. How about
then
it?
he had some other. He's had some issues, but the Ravenel family
Is what that's based on.
Yeah,
Okay.
and him in particular.
Well, they're the Ratliffs, right? So that even adds to it. I think that's their name on the show is the Ratliffs.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, he was
Deep roots.
he's the big bad in The Patriot too, right?
he is
That actor, one of the
terrible.
most awful. Yeah.
So they are deep roots in South Carolina. They tracing back to the French Huguenot. How do you say that word? Huguenot. It has to be Huguenot. It's French.
Probably. Yeah.
Huguenot immigrants who settled in Charleston in the 17th century. Notable members including politicians, botanists, and real estate professionals. All respect, blah blah blah. Let's see. I know they had some big wigs in the family. So yeah, that's just a little background for you. That's what he's supposed to be. And if you even just did a YouTube and Googled him for a second, he would be there.
You'd be there.
He's considered there. The Ravenels are considered to be amongst Charleston and South Carolina's most famous families.
There you
go. Lance tweets at the show, who are the most famous athletes you played against in high school?
Ryan Leaf.
Eddie House.
The one player that's dunked on me in my career, and the only one, Robert Tractor Trailer.
Trailer.
3-on-1 break in a
died,
late
didn't
night AAU game. I had played like 7 games in the day.
Yeah, you did.
Tried to step up. I'm laying there. I'm not going to say what he said as he was swinging above me on the rim. It's inappropriate.
Sure it is.
He left. Teammate of mine came over. I said, how bad? He goes, I would definitely buy the poster.
I had a tractor to 54, right?
Yeah.
I had a tractor trailer Michigan jersey. As a young man.
Yeah, that was that next group. Lewis Bullock was in there. They followed Fab Five.
Yeah, followed Fab Five.
At that time, but he died, didn't he?
I believe he
did.
is not.
He
Yes.
did. He was in like Mexico or somewhere in South
Yeah.
America and died of a heart issue, I believe.
And Rodney Rogers is
I think that
passed as well.
too. Yeah. Also, I want to say he was traded. Milwaukee drafted Nowitzki and traded him to Dallas for Robert Traylor. I'm saying that relatively confidently, but I feel like he's
Dude,
tied
I
with.
have 100% belief with you.
I feel like I've had a good week with this stuff, but I
Had a good
feel like he
couple
was.
weeks.
Feel like he was tied to Nowitzki in some way.
You are correct, according to the G-Man.
Did I get it? Yeah.
Worst trade in the Milwaukee Bucks NBA draft history, trading away Dirk Nowitzki for Robert Tractor Trailer.
In the Mavericks previously agreed to draft Traylor at the 6th pick for Milwaukee. In return, the Bucks had to draft Nowitzki with the 8th pick. Why didn't they just
Stay.
They're so
There
worried
must have
about
been
the
somebody at 7 that
gonna
was gonna
pick
take-
Tractor Trailer.
I guess.
Most lopsided trade in NBA history.
I mean, just think how that changes Milwaukee's franchise if they have Dirk. The whole run.
Well, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so 19. This is just really fast. Mavericks drafted Traylor with the 6th pick. Bucks took Nowitzki at 9 and Pat Garrity at 19. Mavs traded Traylor to the Bucks for Nowitzki and Garrity. The Mavs turned around and traded Garrity to Phoenix for Steve Nash, a backup point guard.
Oh, my gosh. Cuban. It was
Wolf.
the anti-Luka.
The one thing that everybody seemed to agree on in the immediate wake of the deal is that Milwaukee had won the deal and made a great move. In retrospect, of course, the Bucks look ridiculous.
That's about as good of an offseason as one NBA team can have maybe ever. Like
Yep.
doing that trade and then trading for Steve Nash.
Wow.
Jeez.
Love a dog today. In honor of Kenny Pickett joining the Browns, is there an athlete that you grew up not rooting for that joined your team, and how did you feel?
It's so funny. I'm dealing with this right now. One of my buddies in town, his kid, he's a Celtic. He grew up a Celtics fan. I grew up a Lakers fan. So it's a friendly rivalry thing. We always talk about our youth or whatever, Lakers, Celtics in the 80s. His kid's favorite player, all of them, is Luka. Like the little guy wears 77. Like
Okay.
I call him sevens, okay, because of Luka. And he's a Laker. So like they have to, and if he's like, you'll love this. He goes, I can't root for him until LeBron is gone. We can't no Lakers gear until LeBron is
Smart
gone.
man.
That was great.
Very wise.
But that was pretty good. A guy that I hated who joined a team that
I wouldn't say I
liked.
hate it, but I would say that what we saw with Joe Flacco 2 years ago,
first thing
Joe
I thought
Flacco
of.
was a thorn in the side of the dominated the Cleveland
Yeah,
Browns, and
yeah.
then became a hero here.
That's the best one.
And it's like the best
yeah.
feel-good one.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's really an incredible.
That's a great one.
It's really incredible.
That was an unbelievable month. I think sometimes people feel like it was like three months or like 12 games.
It's 5 games. He was
5
4
games.
and 1 as a starter.
Yeah, that's it.
He was, and it touched his soul. I mean,
We had him in here.
he was moved deeply. It was pure joy for me. He felt like a kid again.
Yeah.
And I'll give I'm sure you would say the same. You know, the night that we clinched against the Jets. You know, and obviously with Jim's passing, like that was one of the most, probably the most special night of my career. It was amazing. It was a great night in the city. It was electric.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that's
that long ago.
15 months ago.
No, well, he was in studio with us. I want to say in January. It was after the season.
So it was.
It was probably
We had him on the Friday going into the Bengals
playoff
game because no
we
one
didn't
was
play
playing.
anybody.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, we had worked
was
it
in
out like,
January,
hey,
yeah.
if the guys don't have to play, can I get him upstairs and
Yeah, yeah.
get him in for
And he was
a
awesome.
substantial period of time?
It was awesome.
Some Bobby time, extended
Bobby!
Bobby time. Would you rather have cucumbers for fingers or potatoes for ears?
Potatoes for ears. What am I? There's potatoes for ears. Easy. I get those things looking like ears in no time.
Yeah, just shave them down.
Easy.
Yeah,
What do
I
you do
wanna-
walking around?
How am I going to play golf?
How you can do
How
anything?
you can do anything. Cucumbers. It's
Yeah.
like Edward Scissorhands.
Can't do that.
Nope.
You like a cucumber?
At times,
Yeah.
I prefer it to be pickled.
Yeah.
I
it
just
with
made a
I like it with
tzatziki the other night without cucumber, and it was
without
a treat.
Yeah. I'm a big cucumber guy. I like them.
Yeah.
I like them
You
with
like it
salt
in
and
a
pepper.
drink?
I've only had it once, but I remember once having a Hendrick's gin with a cucumber in it. I'm not a gin guy, but I do remember thinking that was sort of refreshing.
Yeah.
I do like it in water. Like if you go to a spa and they got it in the
Sure,
water,
sure,
I like
sure,
that a little bit.
Can be very overpowering, though.
It can.
Who would win in an arm wrestling competition? You or the person next to you?
Person next to me.
Listen. I have a healthy dose of respect for you. I'll say the same.
Yeah. No, that's very kind. Very kind. Look at the guns. The shirt can hardly hold them.
By the way, I do have. So Chris Jericho wrote in his autobiography.
Are you going to wrestle Jericho?
No.
No, but Bobby did want to know if you're going to wrestle against Matt Cardona.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
I don't believe
I think
so.
we can announce that here.
I don't think so. No,
He's
I
making
do
his
not
return to the
believe so.
football field and the wrestling ring.
Yeah, he's going to get back on the field with Dr. J next week, and then we're back in the ring.
A man's got to know his limitations, boys.
You
I don't
do-
know.
I think I know mine.
You're
I
a
bet
winner.
we can
You're a
run you
winner.
right through that stop sign.
Yeah, I am, and that's why it was. That's
Yep.
why it's wonderful. So it's wonderful that it happened and it's over, and I'm here.
Jericho, what were you saying?
Oh, so Jericho in his book had written this thing that he could beat anybody in arm wrestling because he knew the like true secret of arm wrestling, and they would show like sometimes him backstage and like take down dudes that you'd say there's no way he was going to
Yeah.
beat. So one time I saw him and I asked him the secret, and I don't remember it as well now. This was 10 years ago, and I was probably had a few cocktails at the show, but he set me up and we did it, and like he snapped my arm so fast, and I was like, oh my god! But it's like the way that you grip it was something in the grip, like the way you kind of like angle your wrist, and then
Yeah.
he had me do it on somebody else, and he's like, all right, try it on, and then I did, and I was like, thanks, and then he just walked off.
That was
It's a great
a
interaction.
walk-off.
He appreciated that I had read the book. I
Who
feel
was
like.
the quarterback for the Bears whose dad was that guy? Remember that?
Yeah, the backup,
Like over the
quarterback.
top.
Yeah.
No, he was as legit.
was
As
legit.
it gets.
Yeah.
And he was
And
cutting promos on the.
He was on the air,
sideline.
like trying to challenge guys.
Tanner,
Was that the
Badish or
Senior Bowl or
Badish?
a preseason game?
Tyler
No, Tyler
Badish. I think that's
was it
right.
Badish?
Let's say Tyler.
Tyson
Tyson.
Badish.
Tyson Bagent?
Bajent.
Agent. Yes, we were all around it. Tyson.
Right there.
G-Man just rolling
Nailed
it
it,
out.
yeah.
From
G-Man,
the
that
bad.
should have been a Collinsworth slide, and you take the mic right there and drop it on us.
Booyah, G-Man. You always want to enter a situation in a big way.
Oh, Al, we're going to have a fun night. I'll tell you what. Patrick Mahomes, this guy.
No, there's
he
a guy.
knows what he's doing, okay?
Okay. There was a little merging there at the
There
end
was,
that I
yeah.
enjoyed a great deal.
Yeah. That was almost something else.
By the way, so I don't know if we saw it. Put on my solo. Could you see him?
no.
No.
It's too tight now, so we
Yeah.
don't really have we need a G-Man cam because, so instead of just like sliding over like this, he turned his back and then really.
A big
Yeah, I was like, where's he going?
Great
Why is he
reveal.
turning away from everything?
Great
I
reveal.
couldn't have enjoyed it more, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
A pizza topping that most people hate but you secretly love.
Pineapple, dude. Everybody gets down on like a pepperoni and pineapple, a ham and pineapple. Now, do I order that often? No, I don't. But when I was in college, did I? You betcha.
Yeah, I love pineapple on pizza. I think it's great. My
Yep.
mom was a big Canadian bacon and pineapple, which is ham.
Okay,
And,
yeah.
I'm my favorite pizza is pepperoni mushroom.
Same. That's all I get now,
That's,
though.
that's all. So that's it.
I eat pizza so rarely.
Do you find that I see a lot of people push back heavy on the mushrooms, and I don't understand it.
Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong?
I
with
hate
you?
mushrooms.
I will tell you
I
this
can't go
though.
to a
Pizza,
can.
I hate it.
I'll tell you this. If I order pizza from a place and there are canned mushrooms on it, I will never go to that pizza place ever again.
I agree.
That's like, what are we doing?
That's not that.
You can buy them pre-sliced at the store.
Yeah, you can. This is easy to do.
Final one from Bobby. What's your hot
We live in
take
a
on a very
society.
popular movie or TV show?
Entourage sucks.
Rudy sucks.
You
Same.
both suck.
Same.
What? We suck?
Yep.
There's his hot take.
Your two takes suck.
Entourage is terrible.
Not you both suck personally. You
I
both-
would.
Your
I
two takes
got
suck.
a great deal of enjoyment out of Entourage.
I like
I shouldn't say that it sucks. I should say
I got no enjoyment out of Rudy. Zero.
No, Rudy's awful. I think the deal that I had with Entourage was it just was not in the same league as other things that were done there, and they really blew it with the main character. The main guy was not believable as a movie star.
So
everybody else was great. Like Turtle was great. The Eric dude was fine.
No, he was.
They're all. I mean, I don't think he could have got a studio
He
air.
was so annoying.
Yeah, but like the main guy, there's no chance that he has no charisma.
So I watched,
and his career post backs that up.
100%.
Yeah,
Piven
was the.
I considered him the star.
By the way, Jeremy Piven, I think, is
Yeah.
in town next week at the Agora.
There you go. What's he
Thursday
doing?
night,
Is he a
he's doing a
stand-up?
comedy stand-up.
I didn't even know he did stand up.
Doing a comedy show.
How about that? All right, there you go. So much more to come. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. All right, Gibby. Happy flight.
Yeah, dude. When do we see you again?
When will we
I'll
be
be
graced
back
with your
in
presence?
Wednesday.
Back in Wednesday. Then you and I will have
Then
one day,
you're-
and
then you're
I'm
gone.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Got to get gone.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
so-
one day of a crossover.
One crossover, and then that's it. Yeah. So there you go. You got golf. You got some stuff lined up.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
There you go. That's nice. And you're going to chase it today, right? You're going to get out there.
Yeah.
What
Get up
time do
there
you
and
tee off?
Today?
Yeah.
As soon as I get there. I'm just going to
3:30?
go meet up. They're already playing, the fellas are playing 18. Kia, Simza, Pac-Man Jones, Kato. They're already playing 18, so I'm just going to meet them
Wherever they are.
and
Yeah.
play a few
Track
holes.
them down.
And then we're
Nice.
playing tomorrow, supposedly, at like noon-ish.
Seems like you're going to be good.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'd like to be.
Yeah.
I'm very
Seems like you're gonna be
excited.
good. Yeah, it'll be nice. We got we got a 5:30 NBC got a 5:30 to 7 lacrosse practice added tonight
Tonight?
to the mix. Yeah. Kinda
Oh,
out the
that's
blue.
A
wonderful.
late ad on a Friday night?
Dropping it in.
Who does that? That
1 minute.
That doesn't
1
sound
minute.
right.
No,
Hey, if you want to be a program like Hudson,
you got to do it. Got to
you
get
put
out
in the
there.
extra time and the effort.
Get
Gibbe,
those
how
sticks
many
in
rounds
hands,
of golf
boys.
are you looking at?
He's got 3. He said
3.
3, maybe a 4th if I can
Maybe a
get it
fourth.
in on Tuesday morning before we leave. See, we're flying middle of the day Tuesday. I don't know. It's hit or miss.
We'll see you Thursday.
Enjoy your vacation.
Don't
Yes,
jinx
enjoy
me
it,
like,
Gibbe.
Don't jinx me like that.
Enjoy it. By the way,
Enjoy
you'll
it.
hear
Live,
there's
live.
going to be no slandering of you on
No,
vacation.
of course
while
not.
you're gone.
No,
Just
live.
Joy for you.
Live.
Because
It's
we
well earned.
love
Live
you.
it.
So,
Live
yeah.
it.
30.
We are back. We'll be back here on Monday.
I just need the G-Man to make sure he puts the stream up when we have segments.
The G-Man always comes up in a big way.
The G-Man is
Not the last time I
the
was
G
gone.
stands for glorious.
Next
I got
level's
you guys
next.
too on this end.
And Kev's here. Yeah, we're good. You're safe, pal. You're safe. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN
BZG.
Cleveland.